The disappearance of 5-year-old Harmony Montgomery garnered worldwide attention when police made a horrific discovery. Undeniably the most heartbreaking aspect of the case, the full extent of the crime's brutality remains largely unknown by the public. Kayla Montgomery's testimony during trial would vividly encapsulate crucial details, revealing her witnessing the abuse but failing to intervene. This testimony adds a significant layer to the intricate web of evidence and multitude of witnesses involved. In order to grasp the full complexity of this case, a meticulous chronological deep dive is essential, which will offer a comprehensive overview of the events. The story begins in 2012, when Adam Montgomery began his relationship with Crystal Sorey. This oftentimes involved frequent substance abuse, a persistent and reoccurring element in this case. Before proceeding, it's important to establish Adam's criminal background, which will provide critical context, shedding light on his lifestyle and behavioral tendencies. When delving into the criminal background of Adam Montgomery, a pattern of escalating offenses emerges from his juvenile years. At age 16, Adam was charged with possession of a dangerous weapon on school grounds, marking the start of his frequent encounters with the law. Adam was also charged with threatening his girlfriend with a knife, which led to his detention of 110 days in a juvenile center. Adam was later convicted of a robbery, breaking into an apartment and demanding money at gunpoint from 2 women. At age 18, his criminal behavior intensified, culminating in charges of stabbing a young man in the leg and pushing him out of a moving vehicle. Adam's last charge was an incident where he shot a man in the chin during a botched drug deal. In June of 2014, Harmony was born, being placed under foster care at birth simply for her own safety, as the couple inevitably lost custody of their child due to potentially hazardous conditions. This led to the couple's separation and divorce due to legal conflicts. In 2016, Adam would date an old high school friend named Kayla, eventually conceiving 3 children of their own. Harmony was placed back in Adam's custody after the state recognized that he was able to hold a job and purchase a home with his new girlfriend and soon-to-be wife. Kayla would claim Harmony on her DHHS account, collecting $129 a month to be used solely on Harmony. The Division of Children, Youth, and Families, or more commonly referred to as DCYF, would deem the couple fit, and Harmony was released back into Adam's custody. It's uncertain whether Crystal had any visitation rights at this point. Crystal claimed she had a bad feeling, stating that she knows the violent nature of her ex-husband and feared for Harmony's safety. To make matters worse, Crystal also stated that over a FaceTime call, she noticed that Harmony seemed quite scared. It wasn't until a few months later, Adam's uncle, Kevin Montgomery, stated upon returning from vacation, he noticed Harmony had a black eye. When Adam was asked how Harmony received this injury, Adam stated that he bashed her around the home. Fearing for Harmony's safety, Kevin would notify family, friends, and DCYF. Detective John Dunleavy of the Juvenile Division was assigned to the case. It's uncertain whether police took immediate action, as the incident report has since been redacted. In August 2019, the couple faced eviction from their residence due to their inability to maintain mortgage payments. Consequently, utility services were discontinued, and the couple resorted to squatting in the home, utilizing a generator for power. Law enforcement was alerted and conducted welfare checks on 3 occasions within a 3-month period. During these visits, officers observed the presence of a functioning generator and food supplies, noting that the children were safe. Over the next few months, attempts were made from a family looking to adopt Harmony, but failed to do so. In September 2019, Kayla's mother, Christina, reported having last seen Harmony the day after Thanksgiving. Following the couple's eviction by U.S. Marshals, Christina asserted that they were now homeless and residing in their vehicle. DCYF was notified once again, and multiple attempts to locate Adam was made, all of which were unsuccessful. Kayla was eventually located and asked about the whereabouts of Harmony. Kayla stated that Adam took Harmony back to live with her biological mother, Crystal, but this was far from the truth. Hindsight affords us the clarity to comprehend the events of that fateful day. A 4-hour testimony during trial revealed the gruesome actions that Adam and Kayla attempted to conceal. The testimony commenced with Kayla stating that the defendant began assaulting Harmony after detecting the odor of urine in the vehicle. It is crucial to note that Harmony was potty trained prior to Adam's custody, which leads many to believe that the child's fear led to her urinating on herself.
What was Harmony doing at that point when he started driving the vehicle?
She was crying a lot.
She was crying a lot?
Yeah. And she was making a weird noise.
Was she saying anything?
No.
And Kayla, I want you to walk the jurors through in as much detail as you can.
Kayla vividly describes Adam's abuse towards Harmony, mentioning her half-hearted attempts to stop him, which ultimately failed. This occurred while their 2 younger sons were also in the back seat.
Did you try to help Harmony while he was striking her?
Yes.
Tell the jurors what you did to help, to try to help.
I put my arm up and said to stop, but he looked at me and he gave me this look that was like evil. His crazy eyes. I didn't like it, and I couldn't stop him from hitting her, because the look that he gave me was scary. I was scared.
What were you feeling when he looked at you like that?
Like he was either gonna hit me or just, I don't know. It was weird. And that was like one of the first times that I've seen him look at me like that.
Was it the last time you saw him look at you like that?
No.
Okay, and we'll talk about that more. But I want to focus on this drive. You said that Harmony's crying. She's making this weird noise.
Yeah.
Where was she in the vehicle?
She was behind the passenger seat.
And who was in front of her in that car?
I was.
You described the defendant almost coming over the seat.
Yes.
Was he still driving at that point?
Kind of. Between the red lights, and it definitely at the red lights. I remember that.
How was he striking her?
By punching her in the head.
Where were your other 2 children at that time?
In the back seat.
And what were they doing?
They had no idea what was going on.
How old were they?
Seamus was about 2.5, and Declan was 11 months old.
Did you look back at Harmony at any point?
No,
Why not?
because I was scared.
What were you scared of?
If Adam was going to say something, or if he hurt her really bad, it was going to look really bad.
You were scared of what Harmony would look like? That attempt to intervene, were you successful in that?
No.
Did he stop after that?
Shortly after that.
Shortly after that. Did he say anything to you when he stopped?
He said he thinks that he really hurt her, and he felt something.
When he said that he thinks he really hurt her, where was the vehicle at that point?
At Burger King?
At the Burger King?
Yes.
And what did the defendant do after he stopped hitting Harmony, after he said, I think I really hurt her?
Nothing.
Aware of their child's death, Adam committed an unthinkable act. The following testimony is graphic in nature. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Was he saying things to her to try to wake her up?
Yeah, he said Harmony, and he kept saying baby girl, and trying to budge her, and there was nothing.
Was he touching her?
Yes.
What was he doing to her body at that point?
Trying to figure out what to do, and getting all the kids out of the car. He took the duffel bag that was in the trunk and and put her in the duffel bag.
Kayla stated that Adam did not tell her where he intended to dispose of Harmony's body, but mentioned his plan to dismember the body and use a NutriBullet to further disintegrate the remains. She claimed that Adam left in the middle of the night with Harmony still inside of the garbage bag, as she did not know where he went.
And that trash bag that the duffel bag went into, that the clothes went into, what happened to that trash bag?
I don't know.
Did the defendant tell you what he planned to do with that trash bag?
Throw him away.
Did he tell you specifically where he was going to throw it away?
He just said he wasn't gonna leave him in our trash area. He was gonna bring him somewhere.
Did he say why he wasn't going to leave them in your trash?
So that there's no evidence.
Did the defendant tell you where he planned to dump Harmony's body?
No.
Did he leave with a rental van at some point?
Yes.
Did he leave with the CMC bag at the same time?
Yes.
When did he leave?
It was in the middle of the night.
Did he say anything to you before he left?
No.
Did he tell you what he was doing?
No, but I already knew what he was doing.
And that's because he told you before.
Yes.
Did he tell you specifically why he wasn't telling you where he was going, where he was dumping Harmony?
Yes.
Tell the jurors what he told you.
He said he wasn't telling me where he was bringing her so that if anything like this happened and the cops got involved, that I wouldn't be able to tell. I wouldn't know where she is, so I couldn't tell anybody where she is. Only he would know.
Kayla concludes her testimony by stating that Adam grew increasingly suspicious, breaking things and threatening to kill her if she considered contacting the police. At the time, police were under the presumption that Harmony was with her biological mother, Crystal. A review of the incident report reveals that only one attempt was made to contact Crystal, which was a single phone call that went unanswered. Crystal also failed to attempt to contact Adam for an entire year. It was not until 2 years later, when Adam was found sleeping in his vehicle and subsequently questioned by police, that his responses aroused suspicion. During investigators' reconnaissance, Adam was seen in Walmart with a woman named Kelsey Small. The video shows the two walking through numerous aisles before selling a mobile phone for extra money. The two leaves shortly after and was eventually located by police at a nearby parking lot. Police noted that Adam was inside his vehicle with Kelsey Small at the time. Police stated that upon inquiring into Harmony's whereabouts, Adam would give contradicting answers, which inevitably raised police's suspicions.
What was your purpose of finding the defendant that day?
So the be on the lookout was issued during the roll call to locate Adam Montgomery in the hopes of locating his daughter Harmony, who family members hadn't seen for approximately 2 years.
2 years.
A warrant was issued for his arrest. SWAT team would conduct the search, arresting Adam by brute force. Adam was taken into custody under the presumption that he is simply being detained for an assault charge. After eventually coming in contact with the suspect, Adam was detained and given the opportunity to clear the air. Unbeknownst to him, he's currently facing charges of second-degree assault on his daughter, Harmony. Before detectives expound upon the current charges, the interview begins by Mirandizing the suspect and gaining basic information. This initial phase aims to establish a foundation for the interrogation, all while ensuring that Adam is fully aware of his rights.
Appreciate it. Before we go forward, can we get a cigarette in here?
So, there's a sensor in there. So I'll work on getting you a cigarette at some point. I can't promise you one right now, just because the room we're in, and if this starts going off, I don't want to flood the building. You know what I mean?
It's like they're gonna go off.
That thing will, the sprinkler. So, but at some point, we'll work on getting you. I know we have cigarettes in here. I know where they are. Okay, you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Do you need a water?
I don't need nothing.
You good? Okay. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Okay. What's not okay?
Nothing, what's up?
All right. So I'm just gonna ask you some basic questions. You said you can read and write English, correct?
Sure.
All right. Can you just state your full name for me?
Adam Montgomery.
And Adam, what's your birthday?
12290.
And what address are you using to
I'm
call?
not using any.
Okay. What phone number are you using?
I don't have one.
Okay. What was the highest level of education?
GED.
Okay. Where'd you graduate high school from?
I did. I got a GED.
No, but I know, but like, where'd you get
While I
that?
was incarcerated.
Okay. Right now, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
Okay. Do you have any traumatic brain injuries or anything like that? Anything that prohibits you from recalling any memories or anything like that?
Not that I know of.
All right. So we've met before, right? We met the other day. I know you've had a long time down here. You've kind of been a roller coaster. I'm going to apologize for what happened out there. That's not how I do business, okay? That had nothing to do with me. Those are guys that like to play G.I. Joe, all right? If it had been up to me and I could have gotten a hold of you some way, I would have reached out to you. But you don't have a phone, right?
You guys could have just told my wife you wanted me to come in.
But aren't you not supposed to be talking to your wife?
No, that's bullshit.
It's not. You're not supposed to?
No, I can't be.
Thank you. Look at that.
I can't be.
I guess they're going to let you smoke a cigarette here. They must have talked to somebody.
Adam was granted the privilege to smoke inside the interrogation room, a rare occurrence that offers valuable insight into his nonverbal cues and body language. This unique circumstance not only provides detectives with critical behavioral assessments, but affords Adam a sense of control and comfort, potentially leading to a more animated response. Importantly, Harmony had been missing for 2 years at this point, which in retrospect allows investigators to discern patterns of guilt and insincerity more clearly.
So I don't know why who's saying I can't talk to my wife because that's bullshit.
Maybe it's some old paperwork that somebody saw.
Yeah, from last year, but it was over with and done with after I got out of jail.
So that's all clear.
DCYF said it was cleared up, the police said it was cleared up, everybody said it was cleared. They said that there was no contact order between me and her.
Okay, and that's Kayla we're talking about. Okay. Well, you know what? If that's the case, then that's my fault for maybe not checking a little bit further into it. So I apologize for that. Again, I apologize for the way things went down out there. Like I said, I'm not part of the SWAT team. I don't do that stuff. If I had had a good number for you, I would have just called you in. But I don't have it. You don't have a phone. You said, right? Okay. So I apologize for that. I do appreciate you being cooperative with me. You've never given me a hard time. I know we've only met a few times, so thank you for that. Let's talk about why we're here to talk.
Tell me what you want to say.
Tell me what you know.
I don't know nothing.
Well, what was our conversation about the other day?
You said you had a couple questions you wanted to ask me. You asked me the questions.
Well, what was our conversation about the other day? Remember we met, I mean, you remember that was only, what, a few days ago, right? We got a lot of worried people and scared people right now in the community. I know you're worried about the well-being of your daughter, and I kind of want to get ahead of this because I don't want you to be painted as a monster.
Well, that's what you guys are already doing.
I am?
We're not doing that. Oh, yeah.
Can you explain that to me?
That's what you guys are already trying to do, man.
Explain to me how I'm trying to make you, or whoever is trying to make you out to be a monster. Who's telling you that stuff? Is there somebody that I work with that told you that? Somebody you're close with, that they told you that?
No.
All right. But you understand this whole thing is getting a little out of hand, would you agree?
Of course. But
So that's why,
look, it's just the way you guys are going about it.
and again,
Yeah,
I don't
not you specifically, but
Right.
yeah, nobody comes out there like that for a second-degree assault charge. Nobody. Been arrested for worse charges. They don't come out and throw fucking flashbangs at my girlfriend's car and ram us into the fucking guardrail. They don't do that for a second-degree assault charge.
again, you understand what the charges are, right?
Second-degree assault, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There's also an endangering the welfare charge
Okay.
and interference with custody. Okay,
So how did I interfere with custody?
Before Adam arrived, a specialized operation unit was mobilized to locate and apprehend him using forceful tactics. Given Adam's extensive criminal history, he is cautious of the detectives' advances, knowing their methods deviates from the standard procedure. Detectives are aware of this apprehension and proceeds cautiously to maintain rapport and facilitate ongoing dialogue.
that paperwork that we served you the other day, remember that?
Okay.
When they were in the alleyway, remember outside of on Lake Ave?
Yeah.
There's paperwork that you have to comply with. You understand that, right? We had that conversation, did we not? Right? So that's what that's all about. Like,
So second-degree assault charge. What is this referring to?
well, that's what we want to talk to you about.
Well, explain to me what if I'm being charged with it. What the hell am I being charged with it for?
Well, your daughter had some injuries
What?
that you know about when you lived on Guilford Street.
No, I do not. What are you referring to?
Well, you were there, I wasn't, right?
What are you referring to?
I'm referring to her having some good marks.
What are you referring to?
Marks that were left on her by you.
Absolutely not. I have nothing else to say.
Like,
No.
we talked about how we were worried about your daughter the other day, right?
Okay.
You remember that conversation?
I remember that conversation, but right off the rip, with the way you're approaching the conversation, you guys are completely out of line. So,
Me?
yeah.
Do I? In the time that you've known me, which
What
is
you just said to me, you guys are completely out of line.
okay, but so explain to me how are we out of line?
I have nothing to explain.
Okay, but wouldn't you rather explain it so we can make sense of it than just have other people's side of the story? Like, you want to defend yourself and like this picture people are painting of you. Now's your chance, man. Defend
Whose side of the story? Who's telling you these things?
people that were close to you.
Obviously not.
Well, maybe at the time, maybe not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that reward on the news, right?
No, I did not.
Do you know that the reward is about $40,000 to find where your daughter is right now?
Okay.
When you start throwing money around like that, people come out of the woodwork that you would never expect to do.
Okay.
So, like I said, when I talked to you a few days ago,
Can I have another cigarette?
sure.
In January 2022, both Adam and Kayla were apprehended in connection with Harmony's disappearance. Although her physical whereabouts remained unknown, the investigation relied heavily on forensic analysis, behavioral evidence, and witness statements, prompting police to seize over 200 pieces of evidence from the couple's residence and vehicle. Forensic examination revealed traces of dried blood on items belonging to Harmony, suggesting physical abuse leading up to her presumed death. What began as a missing person inquiry evolved into a potential homicide investigation. The pivotal moment came when investigators searched the shelter, where they made a chilling discovery. Upon entering, officers immediately detected a familiar odor of decomposition emanating from the ceiling. They extracted ceiling tiles and the vent, later confirming through DNA analysis that the stains match Harmony Montgomery's genetic profile. This revelation solidified Harmony's tragic fate.
Good morning, Detective Riley. How are you today?
Oh, well, good morning.
And sorry, I just referred to you as a detective. Mr. Riley, can you begin by stating and spelling your full name for the record?
Scott Riley, SCOTTRILEY.
And what led you? What information did you receive that led you to that shelter?
I wasn't part of there was an interview that was conducted and information was obtained that maybe that the child was placed in that apartment for a period of time.
You mentioned an interview being conducted. Was that with Kayla Montgomery?
It was.
Can you describe your response to the Families in Transition shelter that day?
We were told to go out there and we were going to complete a search of the apartment. I mean, the crime scene van was involved. It wasn't my case, so I didn't really have any of the planning. I was just kind of, let's go. You're going to help process the scene, and we obviously went out there. It says general other, really cold in units 2 and 5. Come check the thermostat. Slight odor when the heat is on. Done on 2/5 of 20.
Can you read the general description?
General other, weird smell coming from vents in the unit. Come check it out.
And again, can you remind us why you were going there that day?
There was information developed in the investigation that there's a potential that the missing child was placed above the ceiling in this unit.
And was there an access point to that ceiling?
There was.
And do you see it in the image there?
I do. It's the vent at the top.
When you arrived in that room, when you actually walked in, did you have any impressions?
I did.
Can you tell the jurors what those impressions were?
There was an odor. I could smell something. I didn't know what it was when I first entered the room, but I could tell there was an odor in the room.
Did you observe did you look into the opening that you created?
I did.
You observed when you...
As soon as I removed the cover, I could smell what I know is decomposition. I could smell a dead body. What I believed to be a dead body at the time, or it smelled like decomposition is the best way to describe it.
What is decomposition?
When a person dies, the body starts to degrade, I guess is the best word. It's a smell that you just won't forget.
Did you make any other observations when you looked into that vent?
I did.
And what were those?
I could see at first that there was, it looked like a stain right close to the edge of the vent. That correct? And I also noted that you can see the sheetrock dust, and I'm sorry if you can't hear me, it's hard to crank my neck around to see this. The sheetrock dust you could tell had been altered. Like you could see in the back, it's all fresh sheetrock dust, probably from when the place was constructed. And this over here appeared to have been, something had been in that area.
On February 7th, 2024, Adam Montgomery's trial commenced, featuring testimonies from over 50 witnesses seeking justice for Harmony. Adam Montgomery received a sentence of 45 years in prison, convicted on charges including second-degree assault, witness tampering, falsifying physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. He will serve his sentence at the New Hampshire State Prison for Men. Kayla Montgomery was sentenced to an 18-month prison term for lying to a grand jury. She was granted parole and released in May 2024. Kayla remains under the supervision of the New Hampshire Department of Corrections until 2028. As for the victim, Harmony's body was never recovered. She was believed to have been dismembered by Adam, who possibly utilized power tools and a NutriBullet to dispose of her remains. While her physical presence is lost, Harmony's harrowing story will never be forgotten.